Mr. Clelland here for Clelland Maths. I'm going to do some National 5 Maths today, and it's going to be surds. A lot of these examples are taken from maths.scot. This is an excellent website, and I'm also developing an app that will be ready by the end of the month, Halloween 2025, where you can see all of my stuff together, lots of questions you can go through, but enough about that now. Let's get straight into this video. Example 1 says, simplify root 12. So I'm trying to simplify a surd. So remember, a surd is this thing here, which is a root, but is not like a root 4, which can become 2. But when you simplify it, what you can actually do is say, well, I'll make that 2 roots, or 2 numbers at times together to make 12. And just pick one to be a square number. So 4 is a square number times by 3. And I always like the square number first. And that means that I can then square root 4, which is 2 root 3. And that's it. We're done. Now, sometimes there's a bigger square number that goes into the number 12, say. Let's say we're picking a bigger number like 60. So you need to check that you use the biggest square number that you possibly can. Otherwise, you're going to have to keep simplifying. Example 2, simplify 3 root 72. Well, that 3, don't get worried about that. That just hangs about to the end. So I've got 3 and I want 2 roots. 2 numbers at times to make 72. One's a square number. Well, 36 times 2 is 72. So that's going to work because 6 is 36. So that's 3 times, I need the times sign now, I suppose, 6 root 2. So I can't write 3 6 root 2, looks like 36. 3 times 6 is 18. I can just times the number parts and the 2 stays where it is. 18 root 2, and we're done there. Clelland Maths is sponsored by Lecky, the educational publisher for Scotland. They offer viewers of this channel a massive 30% discount. Just use the discount code ClellandMaths at leckyscotland.co.uk. The practice question books go all the way from level 3 to advanced higher and include National 3, 4 and 5 apps as well, so you can get any book you need for your studies. These are an excellent resource with questions on every topic and contain work solutions so you can see how the marks are awarded. As you go through the book, the questions get increasingly difficult, so by the time you finish the book, you'll be ready for your exams. Usually £9.99, just use the discount code ClellandMaths to get 30% off that. Link down below. Example 3, simplify 2 root 20 plus 6 root 45. So I need to do these separately. 2 root 20 is 2 root 4 root 5, because 4 5s is 20. That's 2 times 2 root 5. That's 4 root 5. I'll now do the same for 6 root 45. Well, that's just 6, 9 times 5. 6 times 3 root 5 then. 6 3s is 18, so I get 18 root 5. And hopefully if you did this right, at least a few of them in a question will be the same, so I can now add them. So I've got 4 root 5s plus 18 root 5s. Well, 4 and 18 is 22, so I've got 22 root 5s. I'm allowed to add surds as long as the surd is exactly the same, in this case root 5. And we're done there. Example 4, times and surds. Well, there's 2 ways to times surds. I'll show you both if you prefer. We've got root 8 times root 12. If we're both under a square root sign, you just times them together and you're done. Then you need to make sure you simplify. Or if you prefer, simplify first, then times. Depends how big the numbers are, depends on if that's worth doing or not. I'll do it the first method, the most obvious method. Root 8 times root 12. 8 tens is 80, 8 11s is 88, 8 12s is 96. So now I need 2 numbers at times together to make 96. One's a square number. It might not be obvious what number that is. It's 16. 16 times 6 is 96, so that's 4 root 6. See, that might not have been obvious. It took me a minute. So let's take a different approach. We could say we've got root 8 and simplify that root 8 to root 4 root 2 times and simplify the 12 to root 4 root 3. So now just work that out, 2 root 2 times 2 root 3. The number parts go together, they can be times, that makes 4. And the root parts go together, they can be times, that makes 6, 4 root 6. I think that's a more elegant solution, it makes it easier to see what's happening, but if you prefer the first way, go ahead. Okay, we get to example 5 and it says rationalise the denominator and simplify. So rationalise the denominator means we times by the denominator over itself. To get rid of that root on the bottom, that means to be rational on the bottom. So root 8 over root 8. So that gives me 4 root 8 twos is 16, which is 160, over 8. So now there's a bit of simplification to do. The 4 and the 8 go together because they are not in the square root, they're just numbers. Do not try and do 160 divided by 8 because that's not 160, that's root 160, a different number. So dividing the top and bottom by 4 to start with, that gives me 1 root 160 over, well, 2. But now I need to do root 160. I'm looking for two numbers at times to make that. One's a square, well, 16 and 10 is always a good one. That's 4 root 10. So now our root 160 over 2 can just become 4 root 10 over 2. But now I can go again, divide the top and bottom by 2 to get 2 root 10 over 1. So we're done there. Now you could have got there another way by simplifying these surds first and then trying to rationalise the denominator, whatever way you prefer. Little past paper question 2014, paper 1, question 8. Root 40 plus 4 root 10 plus root 90 as a surd in its simplest form. Can't add them until we're all simplified. So let's start with root 40. So we've got root 40, well that's just 4 times 10 to root 10. Notice our root 10 has appeared, and we now know that root 10 is already simplified because 4 is the biggest square number. It goes into 40 and it gave us root 10 as an answer. So I don't have to try and simplify my root 10. So I'll now go and simplify my root 90. Well, that's 9 times 10. Square root of 9 is 3, so that gives us 3 root 10. So our whole sum simplifies into 2 root 10 plus our 4 root 10 that was already there, plus an extra 3 root 10. So adding all them together, 2 plus 4 is 6, plus another 3 is 9. Our answer is 9 lots of root 10. Okay, 2018, paper 1, question 11. Express 9 over root 6 with a rational denominator. So we start with 9 over root 6, we times by root 6 over root 6. So this gives me 9 root 6 on the top over just 6 on the bottom. I can simplify the number parts by dividing by 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times, 3 goes into 6 twice, leaving 3 root 6 on the top and 2 on the bottom for our final answer. SQE National 5 Maths 2019 Paper 1 Question 12. Express root 2 over root 40 as a fraction with a rational denominator and give it in its simplest form. So we've got root 2 over root 40. You can simplify now or after. So we'll simplify after. Root 40 over root 40. That gives me 2 times 40 is 80. So root 80 on the top. And root 40 times root 40 is just 40. So simplifying our root 80. I'm looking for two numbers at times to make 80. One's a square number, the biggest you can find. 16 goes into it 5 times. So that is 4 root 5. So our final answer is 4 root 5 over 40. 4 goes into 40 10 times, so that's root 5 over 10, and we're done there. Band and simplify. So we've got root 10 times root 10. Well, that's just 10. We've got root 10 times root 2. Well, that's going to be root 20. 2 tens are 20. And we've still got plus 8 root 5. So at this point, we need to check if root 20 can be simplified as a surd. We're looking for two numbers that go into 20. One's a square number. Hopefully it'll be 5. Let's just check. Root 20 equals root. Well, 4 is a square number times 5. So that gives me 2 for square root and 4, root 5. So I can rewrite my problem as 10 minus 2 root 5 plus 8 root 5. Which equals 10. 8 minus 2 is 6, so plus 6 root 5. And we're done. Can't add the 10 and the 6 root 5 because they're, well, different from each other. One's a whole number, one's got a root in it. SQE National 5 Maths 2023, Paper 1, Question 8. Express 12 over root 15 with a rational denominator. So I need to rationalise the denominator. So I do 12 over root 15. And I times by root 15 over root 15, eliminate the denominator's root. So on the top, to start with, that gives me 12 root 15. And on the bottom, I just get 15. So then I always simplify my answers. So I can simplify the outside fraction, 12 and 15. I can divide that by 3. So dividing the top and bottom by 3, I get 3 into 12 goes 4, root 15. 3 into 15 goes 5. Do not be tempted to then divide the 15 by the 5 or anything, because that's under a root, but that is not. Just a quick check, is root 15 a simplified surd? Well, that means, is there any square numbers that go into it? Well, 4 doesn't go into it, 2 2's a 4, 9 doesn't go into it, 3 3's a 9, and 16 is too big, so I'm done there.
National 5 Maths 2024, Paper 1, Question 6, simplify root 75 minus root 3. So root 75 is a surd that I can simplify because it's got two square numbers at times together, and I've got 25 and 3. So square root of 25 is 5, so that's 5 root 3. So my sum is 5 root 3 minus a root 3. Don't be tempted to write 5 here. It's 5 root 3 minus 1 root 3, which is 4 root 3. And we're done there.
SQA National 5 Maths 2025 Paper 1 Question 12. Express 6 over root 10 with a rational denominator. So that means that it times by root 10 over root 10. So for 1 mark, you would get 6 root 10 over 10, but now you need to simplify. Well, the root 10 doesn't simplify, there's no square numbers that go in, but 6 and 10 can, by dividing by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3 root 10, 10 divided by 2 is 5, 3 root 10 over 5, and we're done there. This is Mr. Clelland from Clelland Maths, and today we've done the whole of surds in National 5 Maths. Hopefully you found that useful. Take care, stay safe, and goodbye.